The money in your wallet right now may not be real. Not metaphorically, not philosophically, literally. And the institution designed to protect you from that possibility has already admitted, through the most expensive admission in American financial history, that it cannot guarantee otherwise. Somewhere, a factory is running. No workers, no lights, no human hands. And the bills it produces are not merely convincing. They are, by every technical and forensic metric available to the most sophisticated financial detection systems on Earth, identical to the ones printed by the United States Treasury. Not close, identical. $100 billion, moving silently through banks, markets, the hands of merchants and soldiers and arms dealers who never suspected they were holding a weapon. A weapon with no barrel, no detonator, no crime scene. Just paper, just trust, and the systematic, catastrophic exploitation of one without the other. The men who built this system were never in the room. That was the design. This is not a story about crime. Crime has perpetrators. Crime gets solved. This is a story about something colder, something that understood the architecture of Western trust better than the West itself and used that trust as the entry wound. The press is running somewhere right now, and the silence around it is the most expensive silence in modern financial history.
The year is 1989. A single $100 bill surfaces in the Philippines. A routine flag. A Secret Service analyst holds it under forensic ultraviolet light, runs the standard checks, and does something that will haunt American financial intelligence for the next 3 decades. He logs the anomaly and files it away. Not because the bill failed, because it was too perfect to take seriously. That is how the most expensive institutional mistake in American financial history begins, not with a breach, with a compliment. Think about what that moment represents. The entire defensive architecture of the world's most powerful financial system, decades of counterintelligence infrastructure, billions in detection technology, encounters its most dangerous adversary for the first time and mistakes perfection for insignificance. The system was designed to catch errors. This left no errors to catch. The working assumption was reasonable by every available precedent. Counterfeiting at industrial scale required human infrastructure, skilled artisans, distribution networks, organizational exposure. Someone would get greedy, someone would talk, the machine would surface. It always did. This machine understood patience the way governments understand patience, not as restraint, but as strategy. Volume creates noise. Volume triggers algorithms, floods forensic channels, gives analysts something to triangulate. So the architects chose precision instead. Bills seeded slowly, deliberately across jurisdictions already hostile to Western scrutiny. Lebanese exchange houses running informal remittance corridors. Russian arms brokers whose entire professional architecture depended on transactional silence. African banking networks operating in the sovereign gap between regulation and reality. Each node was chosen not for speed, but for friction. The harder a currency trail is to reconstruct, the longer the operation breathes. For 15 years, it breathed. Western intelligence agencies received the data. They processed individual incidents, categorized, archived, moved on. Because each incident, examined in isolation, looked like street-level forgery, a regional problem, a local nuisance, the kind of low-grade financial static that fills a quarterly report and changes nothing. The dots never connected, because they were never meant to. Here is the detail that should disturb you most. This was not an oversight the operation hoped the West would make. It was an outcome the operation engineered the West into making. It knew the bandwidth limits of Western attention. It knew that a system built to chase humans, people with faces, habits, and exposure, had no conceptual framework for a threat that moved like weather, distributed, pressureless, everywhere and nowhere. 15 years of silence. 15 years of a weapon firing in plain sight. But silence is never the end of the story. It is the construction phase. And what was being constructed, in the dark, was something the Secret Service had no category for, because nothing like it had ever existed before. Everything changes with a single purchase. A Swiss KBA-NotaSys intaglio press. The same technology used by sovereign governments to print their own legal tender. The same mechanical architecture installed inside the U.S. Bureau of Engraving and Printing. Obtained through a front company network spanning 7 countries, moving through jurisdictions before export controls existed with the vocabulary to stop it. The moment that press crosses the final border, the conspiracy ends. The industry begins. Understand what intaglio printing means, because this is the detail that changes the entire moral weight of this story. It is not reproduction, it is replication at the molecular level of tactile authenticity. The microscopic ridges that make a genuine bill feel the way it feels under a fingertip. That sensation is not cosmetic. It is the primary human verification mechanism. The one check requiring no machine, no training, no expertise, just touch. And now that check is compromised. Combined with stolen U.S. Treasury paper fiber specifications, the precise cotton-linen ratio, the exact synthetic thread placement, and reverse-engineered magnetic ink mimicking the Federal Reserve's own chemical signature, the operation no longer needed skilled forgers. The human element, always the most dangerous variable in any covert operation, was systematically removed. The process became automated, scalable, self-correcting. Running inside derelict Soviet munitions facilities, already erased from modern cartography, already invisible to satellite thermal imaging, already ghosts. This is the moment the entire conventional framework must be discarded. Crime implies a perpetrator operating outside a system. What North Korea's Office 39 constructed was a parallel system, one with its own supply chain, quality control, distribution logistics, and reinvestment cycle. A shadow central bank, capitalized entirely by the credibility of its enemy. Financial warfare with no battlefield, no combatants, no off switch. By the early 2000s, a classified Pentagon assessment reaches a conclusion that reads less like intelligence analysis and more like institutional vertigo. The Supernote, as it came to be known inside classified briefings, was generating between $15 and $25 million annually, enough to fund the entire procurement budget of North Korea's nuclear weapons division. Not a subsidy, not a supplement, the engine. Ask yourself what that means. The most dangerous active weapons program on the planet, the one that has since produced functional nuclear warheads, was kept financially alive by a piece of paper, by a forgery so precise that the machines guarding the global financial system passed it without alarm. Every escalation, every missile test, every nuclear detonation that has recalibrated geopolitical risk for the entire human population of Earth, funded in part by trust, your trust, the trust of a global economy in a symbol it never thought to question. The men running this operation never once needed to leave the building, which raises the only question that matters right now. Who knew, and when did knowing become complicity?
In 2013, the United States Treasury unveiled the redesigned $100 bill. Blue security ribbon, color-shifting ink, advanced microprinting. A multi-billion-dollar institutional mobilization dressed in the language of innovation, announced with the confidence of resolution. The press releases used words like breakthrough and protection. What they did not use was the word retreat, because that is what it was. The cost of redesigning, reprinting, and distributing a new global reserve currency note exceeded the entire estimated damage inflicted by the Supernote operation. The United States government spent more defeating a piece of paper than that paper ever stole, and it did not dismantle a single press, did not arrest a single architect, did not sever a single distribution corridor. It blinked, expensively, publicly, and the operation watched. The wreckage exists in places that never make the financial news cycle. Black markets across sub-Saharan Africa, inflated by years of Supernote circulation, distorted in ways that compound generationally. Informal economies across Southeast Asia, quietly destabilized by a counterfeit note that circulated not as forgery but as standard currency, trusted, spent, accepted, never returned for inspection. Entire regional economies absorbed the damage without ever knowing the source of the wound. This is the nature of invisible warfare. The casualties never receive a diagnosis. Between $45 and $48 million in supernotes were estimated in active circulation at any single point, and that number, that carefully constructed, intelligence-derived figure, represents only the detected bills, the ones caught by machines operating at the boundary of their own design limitations. The undetected volume has never been calculated, cannot be. Post-2017 intelligence assessments confirm what the pattern already suggested. The operation does not collapse under pressure, it evolves. Physical paper gives way to digital infrastructure, cryptocurrency laundering corridors, synthetic identity networks, deep-fake financial documentation layered across jurisdictions with no bilateral intelligence agreements. The ghost factory does not retire, it migrates. A weapon that began as ink and cotton becomes code and algorithm. And here is what transforms this from a financial crime narrative into something requiring a far more uncomfortable reckoning. The factory never stopped. The threat did not end with the redesign. It graduated.
Consider the currency counting machine, alone in an empty bank vault, processing bills in the dark, a closed loop of mechanical verification operating on the foundational assumption that the inputs it receives have already been validated by the system upstream. It counts, it sorts, it certifies, and it cannot tell you what it does not know how to ask. That machine is not a metaphor, it is the conclusion. Every institution built to combat this threat was designed around a human model of the enemy. People who make decisions carry the weight of those decisions in their behavior. They get nervous, greedy, make errors of exposure. They have faces, they leave trails, because existence itself is a trail. The entire counterintelligence apparatus of Western finance was engineered to exploit that biological inevitability. This operation removed the biology. What remained was process, clean, self-sustaining, ideologically indifferent process. The Secret Service was built for a world this operation rendered obsolete, not by defeating it, but by refusing to inhabit it. You cannot surveil a decision no individual is making. You cannot flip an asset who does not exist. You cannot raid a facility that has never appeared on a declassified map. The 2013 redesign disrupted output. Temporarily, partially, it did not end the operation. No intelligence assessment has ever offered a confirmed termination date. No raid has ever recovered the press. No arrest has ever traced back to the architects. The trail does not go cold. It was never warm. And so we arrive at the final, irreducible truth. The difference between a genuine $100 bill and a supernote is no longer a matter of chemistry or craftsmanship. It is a matter of origin. And origin, by design, is the one variable the system has no mechanism to verify.
The real and the engineered replica have not merely converged, they have merged. Trust in currency was never about the paper. It was always about the institution behind it, the sovereign guarantee, the implicit agreement between a government and its citizens that the symbol of value is value, because the power behind it says so. That agreement is the invisible infrastructure holding the entire global economy together. Every transaction you have ever made, every salary deposited, every debt settled, all of it resting on a collective belief. This operation did not counterfeit a bill, it counterfeited a government. And here is what the redesigned notes, the classified briefings, the press releases about breakthroughs and protections will never tell you. The architects of this operation demonstrated with mathematical precision that the most powerful financial system in human history could be systematically exploited, not through violence, not through hacking, not through any mechanism the system was designed to defend against, but through the patient, methodical replication of the thing the system trusted most, itself. The factory may still be running tonight, and the bills in your wallet offer you no way to know. If that doesn't make you want to understand how deep this architecture goes, subscribe, because this is just the surface, and the surface is already this dark.